They say he was born during a lightning storm, and that when the midwife saw him arrive, she said, "This child will be a son of darkness." To which his mother replied, "No, he will be a son of light." And light he became, because Nikola Tesla didn't just change the history of science, he literally illuminated the world. Today on Behind the Character, we'll journey through the life of the man who dreamed of giving free energy to all humanity and ended up alone in a hotel room feeding pigeons. Birth and early years. Nikola Tesla was born on July 10, 1856 in Smiljan, a small village in what was then the Austro-Hungarian Empire, during a lightning storm. He was the son of a Serbian Orthodox family. His father, Milutin Tesla, was a brilliant priest who spoke 12 languages, and his mother, Juka Mandic, was an inventive woman with an extraordinary memory, even though she never learned to read or write. Tesla grew up surrounded by intelligence and discipline, but also tragedy. His older brother, Dane, died at the age of 12 in a horse riding accident. Nikola, only 5 at the time, never got over it. Some even whispered that he had caused the accident. From then on, he lived burdened by guilt and by the feeling that nothing he did would ever be enough for his parents. To escape the pain, he developed a remarkable ability. He could visualize entire inventions perfectly in his mind. That power of mental imagery would become one of the secrets of his genius. Education and early formation. From an early age, Tesla showed an exceptional mind. In high school in Karlovac, he dreamed of harnessing the power of Niagara Falls to produce electricity. In 1875, he entered the Polytechnic Institute in Graz, where he excelled as one of the top students. He was disciplined, perfectionist, and deeply passionate, until a dispute with his professor changed everything. Tesla suggested removing commutators from electrical machines. The professor mocked him in front of the class. It was a humiliation Tesla never forgot. He lost his scholarship soon after, fell into gambling, and eventually dropped out. For a time, he vanished. Many believed he was dead. In truth, he was working odd jobs in Maribor, trying to survive. After his father's death, he moved to Prague to study again, but never obtained a degree. First jobs and ingenious work in Europe. In 1881, Tesla began working for the Hungarian telephone company in Budapest. It was there that he first conceived the idea of the rotating magnetic field, the principle behind the induction motor. Later, in Paris, he joined the Continental Edison Company. He was a brilliant engineer. In Strasbourg, he not only repaired Edison's electrical systems, but also built his first alternating current motor, the seed of a revolution that would change the world. Arrival in America and the break with Edison. On June 6, 1884, Tesla arrived in New York with just 4 cents, some calculations, and a dream. He carried a letter of introduction to Thomas Edison that read, "I know 2 great men. You are one of them. The other is this young man." Edison hired him immediately. Tesla worked tirelessly, solving problems no one else could. But soon the clash began. Edison believed in direct current, Tesla in alternating current. Their rivalry was inevitable. According to Tesla, Edison promised him $50,000 if he improved his generators. Months later, when he did, Edison laughed and said, "You don't understand American humor." Tesla quit, and for a year, he dug ditches to survive, while dreaming of a world powered by alternating current. The War of the Currents. In 1888, everything changed. George Westinghouse bought Tesla's AC patents for $60,000. Together, they challenged Edison, who launched a fierce propaganda campaign to discredit the system, even financing the electric chair to prove AC was deadly. But Tesla didn't back down. In 1893, the Chicago World's Fair was illuminated entirely by alternating current. Millions saw how Tesla's light conquered darkness. 2 years later, Niagara Falls became the first hydroelectric AC power plant. The dream of his childhood had come true. Inventions that changed the world. Tesla registered more than 300 patents. Among his most important contributions were the alternating current induction motor, the Tesla coil, able to generate high-voltage electricity, the radio-controlled boat, demonstrated in 1898, and of course the radio, invented by Tesla years before Marconi. Only in 1943, months after his death, did the U.S. Supreme Court officially recognize Nikola Tesla as the true inventor of radio. If you're enjoying this journey through the life of Nikola Tesla, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next story, Behind the Character, the Dream of Wireless Energy. In Colorado Springs, Tesla built a gigantic coil that generated artificial lightning visible for miles. He believed he could transmit electricity through the air, without wires. From those experiments came his most ambitious project, the Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island. With funding from J.P. Morgan, Tesla aimed to create the first global wireless energy system. But when Marconi succeeded in sending transatlantic radio signals, Morgan pulled out. The tower was never completed. In 1917, it was demolished, along with Tesla's dream of giving free energy to the world, personal life, and eccentricities. Tesla never married. He claimed that celibacy helped him focus on his work. He had close friends like Katherine Johnson and Sarah Bernhardt, but no romantic relationships. His mind was tuned to a different frequency. He suffered from obsessive-compulsive tendencies. He washed his hands repeatedly, hated round objects, only stayed in rooms divisible by 3, and calculated the volume of his food before eating. He slept barely 2 hours a night and worked himself to exhaustion. The man and his pigeons. In his later years, Tesla lived in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel on the 33rd floor. Westinghouse covered his expenses, and he received a pension from the Yugoslav government. He spent his days feeding pigeons. He especially loved a white pigeon, about which he once said, "I loved that pigeon as a man loves a woman, and she loved me. As long as I had her, there was a purpose to my life." When that pigeon died, Tesla felt that everything had come to an end. Death and legacy. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla was found dead in his hotel room. He had placed a "Do Not Disturb" sign on the door 2 days earlier. He was 86 years old. 2 days later, the U.S. government seized all his papers. The engineer assigned to review them was John G. Trump, uncle of Donald Trump, who concluded that there was nothing dangerous or revolutionary in them. But the truth is, Tesla's legacy was already everywhere. His alternating current powers every city, every home, every screen around us. He predicted wireless communication, cell phones, and even the internet. Tesla was a visionary living decades ahead of his time, a genius who saw the future while the world still lived in shadows. Nikola Tesla was more than an inventor. He was a dreamer, a poet of electricity, and a lonely soul who gave everything for humanity without asking for anything in return. More than 80 years after his death, his energy still flows through the world, literally. And so, we end this journey through the life of this misunderstood genius. Catch you next time as we reveal another life. Behind the Character.